What is the scariest and best outcome for this offseason for the Mariners? I'm going to break down both those questions. I've got a key player profile on a key free agent that, maybe the Mariners could sign. He could fix a lot of problems that we have. And then I wanted to cover JP Crawford. We'll get there. There's a reason to cover JP Crawford this year, and I wanted to. I stumbled upon a deep dive, guys. Stumbled upon a deep dive. It was fantastic. Hi, everyone. Sam Edwards here. Mariners Daily, the podcast for the thinking Mariners fan. Thanks so much for watching, listening, whatever you're doing. I appreciate it. Give me a like. Let me know what you think about the offseason coming up, and what's your best case and worst case scenario for this offseason. I want to hear about it. Let's get into the scariest thing. Happy Halloween, by the way, to all who celebrate. And I figured I'd do a little scary, not scary, little Halloween theme. That's all I got. I mean, it looked the same. I was gonna start with the lights off maybe and be like, I'm spooky. I'm not though. So I can't do that. But either way, what's the scariest thing that can happen for the Mariners this off season? What do you think? I mean, obviously not signing Naylor, not signing Polanco. But I feel like worst case scenario could even be putting ourselves in a really bad position, signing a player that we should not sign to much more money than we should sign them for. So maybe the worst case scenario isn't not spending any money, but it could be trading one of our key players for pennies on the dollar and then not getting any of the prominent free agents that are out there. That That would be pretty freaking scary. I think maybe just money dumping Luis Castillo and signing a veteran starter just to take his place and then not doing anything with the money. That sounds like the scariest thing that could happen this offseason. That sounds that sounds pretty freaking scary to me. I'd probably be I'd be pissed. I'd be ready to burn this burn this house to the ground, honestly. If we did not add anybody else and we decided to, let's say we traded Gilbert for a meaningless fourth outfielder, got his money off the books, saved some money, didn't sign anybody, didn't use the money for anything. I think that would probably be the scariest thing for me. What would it be for you guys? I was thinking maybe re-signing Eugenio Suarez to a way too expensive deal. He's just not the player that the Mariners need necessarily. He's just not the player that they need. Not good defensively at third base. Does provide power, which is great, but strikes out way too much. We need defense. We need contact first overall. So Geno Suarez is kind of the opposite of what we're looking for here. So maybe signing him to a big deal. I don't know. What do you think? Still feel like yeah, if we trade at least one of our starting pitchers, I'm talking about realistic as well. There's plenty of worst case scenarios. Some, bunch of people get injured, whatever it is. We trade Cal Raleigh, I don't know. Plenty of worst case scenarios, but I'm talking about realistically. Worst case scenario would be just money dumping Luis Castillo, not getting anything for it, and not using the money for anything. On top of not re-signing Polanco, Naylor, that sounds like worst case scenario to me. Let's get to the best case scenario at the end of the episode. Don't worry, we're gonna get there. But in the meantime, let's get to our player profile today. And he could be part of the best case scenario, honestly, if we did get him. Could Cody Bellinger be a Mariner? Is that possible? Is there a universe where that happens? He's gonna get a lot of money. He's gonna get a freaking lot of money. And if we sign him, it's probably gonna take most of our budget. He's gonna take at least 30 mil, I'm guessing, to get it done. Just because of how thin the free agent market is as well. But there's also Kyle Tucker out there who's gonna get bank, but he also had a slightly down year and Bellinger had a rebound year. Either way, let's get to it. Let's get to the breakdown here. Cody Bellinger, he's 30 years old. He played 2024 with the Chicago Cubs, and then this past year was a 1-year deal with the New York Yankees, who definitely their stadium definitely caters to how he is as a hitter. 656 plate appearances, this past season, 29 home runs, 13 stolen bases. It's a good enough walk percentage, 8.7. He does not strike out very much at all, which would be so great for the Mariners. 13.7 K percentage, a 207 isolated power, which is nice. And then he hit 272 with a 334 on base and a 480 slugging percentage, a 125 runs created plus, 4.9 F4 on the season, a 9 fielding run value, which is 91st percentile. He played a little bit of left, center, and right this past season with the Yankees. He would plug right into right field for us, and he was a top tier defenseman there, which is fantastic. The only place that he was slightly negative this past year was in center field, which we don't need him to play center field. We're fine there. He could give J Rod an off day if we need it, but if not, then he's playing quality right field. We could even throw him in left field if we need to. He's versatile. So the reason I wanted to cover Cody, not only because I think he would be a great addition to this Mariners team and just fix that defense in right field, be a high quality bat, basically replace Josh Naylor's bat, and just be a positive left-handed hitter. Like he would fit that Josh Naylor mold sorry, what? Mold. He would fit that Josh Naylor mold with good defense in right field, which is just more valuable to me than just plugging up first base. There's plenty of options at first base. You could fill that spot with whoever you want, really. Um, and the bat would be replaced with Cody Bellinger, which would be fantastic. Now, the scary thing with Cody Bellinger, like I said, he's 2024 was with the Chicago Cubs, and it was a down year. Not a terrible year, but it was a down year. He had 569 plate appearances, so a full season, 18 home runs, 9 stolen bases. Now you see 18 home runs to 29 home runs this past year. You could easily argue that that was just because of Yankee Stadium that he hit those more home runs. He is a big pull fly ball guy. So if you go on Baseball Savant, there's a pull fly ball homers is such a huge hack. If you know Isaac Paredes on the Houston Astros, he's a huge proponent of that. He does not have very good power numbers, but you look at his pull fly ball percentage, and it's one of the best in the majors. And the same thing with Cody Bellinger. He's got a very high pull homer rate. So maybe he was just taking advantage of Yankee Stadium. Maybe not though, because you dig a little bit deeper. He cut down the strikeout percentage a little bit. It was 15.6 in 2024 to 13.7 this past year. But we saw the power increase, and what is the deal with that? And it's not like he was hitting the ball that much harder. He was just making more contact. And I think that is such an underrated skill when we're looking at players. We want to look at the hard hit percentage, we want to look at the barrel percentage, all of this stuff. And those are valuable metrics. The key with stats is to get the full picture. And as soon as you look at that and you go, wait, there's not that big of a change. He didn't deserve it. He's just taking advantage of Yankee Stadium. Not necessarily. We saw a huge jump in contact percentage overall for Bellinger. And like I said, the K percentage did drop a little bit, so we do see it there, but he just made so much more contact. 84.2 contact percentage overall versus 79%, which was 2024. That's a big jump. That's a big jump. That just 5% jump in contact percentage doesn't just happen for players year to year, and that it doesn't fluctuate that much. It's usually fairly consistent, and it's also a lot of zone contact as well. He was making a lot of out of zone contact as well, but zone contact on top of it, he's swinging at pitches that he is supposed to be swinging at, and that's what you want to see. He's also a guy that outperforms his ex-WOBA pretty consistently. He did it in 2024. It was a 322 weighted on base average WOBA versus a 301 x WOBA in 2024. This past year, 347 WOBA, 332 x WOBA. I think he's just a consistently perform his WOBA guy, outperform his expected WOBA. So, and I think the pull fly balls are a huge proponent of that and a huge reason for that. He's taking advantage and pulling the fly balls. He might not be actually hitting the balls that hard, but because they're pulled and he's hitting it in the air, good things happen. More good things happen. He's hitting homers, he's hitting more doubles. So I think I think Cody Bellinger would be a fantastic addition to the Seattle Mariners. Do I think they're going to sign him? Not necessarily. He's gonna cost too much. We're not gonna sign him. Like, it's just not gonna happen. But it would be so great, and he would fix a lot of things. It would just, it'd be great. It'd be great. Can we teach Canzone first base? Can we figure that out? Maybe. I don't know. But Bellinger would be so great to just plug in the right field. Not have to worry about it. I'm not head over heels for Bellinger. I'm not even like saying that that would be the best case scenario for our offseason. I'll get to that at the end of this episode. But he would be a good addition. He would be a good addition to this team. He would. And I'm not saying he'd be the best or anything, or that I especially want him. I'm just saying I think he could be a really good addition. Be fantastic to plug in the right field. That'd be so great. All right, next up, JP Crawford here. Man, JP Crawford, somehow he can be underrated and overrated at the same time. Looking at this past year, doesn't look like that amazing of a year. 654 plate appearances, played a full season, only 12 homers, only 8 stolen bases, still walking the same amount that he always does, 11.3 walk percentage, very nice. He hit 265 with a 352 on base and a 370 slugging, so it's not like his power went dramatically up. But then you keep looking and you see a 113 runs created plus, which doesn't jump out to you, but you look at 2024, he was below average per runs created plus. It was a 90 runs created plus in 2024 for JP Crawford. What's going on? What's the deal here? And then you see the BABIP, the batting average on balls in play, took a huge jump this past year. 318 batting average on balls in play for JP Crawford this past year. In 2024, it was 248. That doesn't just happen. So what's going on here? Well, the K percentage dropped 4%. Very, very nice. Went from 22.6 in 2024 to 18.7 this past year, 2025. 18.7 is nice. That's good. Okay, so he must be hitting the ball harder, right? I mean, the power went up clearly. No, he's hitting the ball less hard. He's not. His hard hit percentage is down. His barrel percentage is down. His launch angle is the same. So what's going on? This is the situation. These are the things that excite me as a baseball analyst. This is what gets me going right here. Because you don't nobody knows. Nobody knows that JP Crawford rebounded and nobody knows why. So you got to keep digging because you can just look at the baseball savant page and be like, not legit. Nope. Go away. Too much blue. And I get it. I get it. You got to dig deeper. Gotta keep digging. Okay, so we see the K percentage go down. So he's making more contact. Yes, contact percentage is he is swinging. Sorry, actually, I'll correct this. The contact percentage is not up technically overall. If you go on Fangraphs, you just scroll down and you see the contact percentage. It is basically the same as it was in 2024. The difference is if you look over to the left, if you look at his overall swing percentage, that has dramatically increased. He is swinging more. He's taking way less called strikes. He is swinging so much more, and it's not swinging that much more outside of the zone. He is swinging in the zone a lot more than he was last year. And that is a huge difference. Same contact percentage, way more swings, good. And I used to get that mixed up. I used to look at the contact percentage, and if it hadn't changed, then I just go, oh well, I don't know what's going on. I don't know why. I don't know why. And I would forget to look at the swing percentage. I would forget to go, wait a second. If he's swinging more and making the same amount of contact, that's fantastic. That's amazing. That's great. That's great. And we know JP Crawford to be a patient hitter. And I think he's finally getting to his sweet spot. I think he's finally getting to his peak right now because we saw the walk percentage still top tier, 11.3%. But we see the K's go down and we're seeing him make that much more contact and be aggressive, be more aggressive and yet still walk this much. And that's fantastic. So what's he doing? What's he doing when he's hitting it? Well, I said his launch angle hadn't changed, and that's true because his fly ball percentage has dropped 5%. Not hitting as many fly balls, therefore not as many home runs. But his ground ball percentage also dropped a little bit, went from 45% to 43% in 2025. His line drive percentage is up 6%. He basically took out some ground balls, took out a lot of fly balls, like 5% fly balls, and just line drives. Started hitting it the other way more. I think he figured out what kind of hitter he is. I think JP Crawford can get a little pull happy sometimes. He's hitting the other way more often. He's being more aggressive, and it all makes sense. It all makes sense, man. You look at the line drive percentage, it's up to 24.8%. It was at 18% in 2024. And then you look at he's not pulling the ball that much more, and he's not hitting it up the middle that much. He's hitting it the other way way more. He's hitting it the other way so much more this past year, and it's great to see. And the key here, the key improvement that just sums it all together is versus off speed pitches. If you go on Baseball Savant, you scroll down. We got fastballs, we got breaking pitches, and we got wait, is that what it is? Breaking and off speed? Oh no. Oh, I'm losing it, guys. I'm losing it. Oh no. Good grief. Yes, yes. Okay, I was right. Oh my gosh. Man. I thought I was losing it. All right. That was just my brain that's losing it. We have fastballs, we got breaking pitches, and we got off speed pitches. And JP Crawford has dramatically rebounded versus off speed pitches. This past year, 2025, he hit 280 batting average versus off speed pitches. The expected batting average backs him up. He had a 347 slugging percentage versus off speed pitches, which does not sound that great. But when you can compare it to 2024, it is dramatically improved. He had a 483 expected slugging percentage, so he still underperformed versus off-speed pitches. Then from his actual slugging percentage to what was expected, a 483 expected slugging percentage, which is dramatic. That's like amazing. Let me give the comparison here. So he hit 280 versus slugging percentage. Sorry, versus off-speed pitches this past year. 280 batting average versus off-speed pitches last year, 2024, a 136 batting average on balls that off-speed pitches. That's crazy. That is crazy. Such a huge jump, and I love this is why I love this, man. This is why I love this, and I hope you guys appreciate this on some level. I just love these moments where you're squinting, you're looking at a player, you see the runs created plus go from 90 to 113, and you're like, what's going on? You go on Savant, you don't see the hard hit metrics increase, you see them decrease. He's hitting the ball less hard, and he's not hitting as many barrels. Why? Because he figured out his swing, figured out what he was doing, and he started taking care of off speed pitches. And what do you do with off speed pitches? Just hit him the other way. Hit him the other way. And he's not watching them as much. He's swinging way more aggressive while walking still a fantastic amount, 11% of the time. Just an underrated player overall, JP Crawford. Underrated season. It's only 2.8 WAR, but it's such a dramatic difference. And 2.8 WAR as well, with how bad he is at shortstop defensively, he's like amazing. It's amazing. It's so good. And I just love it. I just love it. I love it. I hope you guys appreciate it. That's JP Crawford there. I like JP. People were talking about if we should keep him or not, trade him, keep him at shortstop. I would love to take him off shortstop. I think that's the best thing for this team. He's like I said, terrible defensively. I'm not putting that past him. He rebounded offensively. But I think we should keep him. He's got 1 year left on his deal. I'm curious to see what this season looks like. He shouldn't be like ridiculously expensive. Like I said, 2.8 WAR, 113 runs created plus, really bad defense. Like I'm curious to see if we move him over to second base and he is really good defensively. That'd be cool. That'd be cool. I could take that. But either way, curious to see what they do this season. But just great to see. Great to see JP fix his swing, fix his approach, and keep the walks going. That's just fantastic. All right, guys. What could be the best case scenario? What's the biggest treat for the Mariners this offseason? A lot of people are saying Josh Naylor, and I might agree. It could be Josh Naylor, Polanco, and a key outfielder. Maybe we trade for Stephen Kwan. I hear a lot of Mariners fans really want Stephen Kwan, and I'm gonna break that down probably next week. I'm kind of curious to see once I deep dive a little bit how valuable Kwan is because I know he's really good defensively, good contact hitter, doesn't strike out too much, got some speed, like could be a perfect fit for this Mariners team. But I'm curious to see how much control he has. How likely would the Guardians actually trade him? Then again, the Guardians are just trading guys left and right most of the time. So I don't know. We'll see. I think Naylor, Polanco, Bellinger. I don't think Bellinger. If we got Bellinger, I don't know if I'd want him to be the piece. Like I said, I don't know. Like he did really increase his contact percentage to just a much higher mark. So maybe Bellinger. I'm always on the train of Kyle Tucker. Kyle Tucker's amazing. I would love to sign him. If we signed Kyle Tucker, that'd be awesome. If we got like Alex Bregman would be fantastic. I think that could be a really, really, really good case, a really good scenario. If we got Bregman and Naylor, that might be my favorite. That might be my number one, possibly because Bregman is a really good hitter but also plays just fantastic defense at third base, and that would just be such a huge boost for us. Such a huge boost. So, I don't know. What do you think? What's your best case scenario? What's your worst case scenario for this Mariners offseason? I'm curious to hear about it. Let me know in the comments. I appreciate you guys watching. I appreciate you guys listening. If you enjoy the show, like the episode, subscribe, hop on the train because we're doing this every day. Monday through Friday, Mariners Daily. I'll see you guys next week. Have a good one.